Coming up here at 7, a small East Texas town is mourning the loss of a high school student athlete. How the community of Corrigan-Camden is coming together to honor his memory next.
Plus, as the federal government remains shut down, air travelers are feeling the effects this morning. The staffing shortages grounding flights at one major airport. What federal officials are saying this morning.
Also learn how you can score some free donuts at Krispy Kreme just in time for the Halloween season.
And in your forecast, we got a couple of showers possible during the afternoon. We'll go over all the details in your forecast coming up. So stay right there because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
All right, good Tuesday morning, y'all. Thanks so much for staying with us here on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Jesus Martinez.
And I'm Dana Dixon. So glad you're with us this morning, and so glad we might actually need to use our umbrellas for a change. We could use some rain on our yards and also some cooler temperatures that I think is going to follow behind once these showers move on through, Joel.
Especially those burn bans in effect too.
Right, yeah, that could really help us out a little bit. Unfortunately, we're going to be pretty dry going forward, but we certainly can enjoy those cooler temperatures and those drier conditions for ourselves. That is for sure. I love this camera this time of day. It is gorgeous out there. Just a beautiful sunrise. The colors out there in Nacogdoches, absolutely gorgeous. The temperatures this morning, as you head out the door, we got upper 60s, low 70s. We got 70 degrees in Henderson. We also have 68 degrees in Jacksonville, 69 in Tyler. Down in Nacogdoches, we got 67. We also have 67 in Crockett. And as we go throughout the rest of this morning, we'll quickly increase into the middle to upper 80s, potentially near 90 as we work our way into this afternoon. We'll start to see some clouds begin to develop into the early parts of the afternoon, and some of those clouds will have that potential to become a couple rain showers. So we got a couple of showers possible for today. We'll have highs near 90, and then once that cold front passes, we got temperatures in the upper 80s to even middle 80s by Thursday. And we'll take a look at just how long all that will last in your full forecast in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Joel. Well, we are waiting to learn more about a motorcycle crash in Palestine that left one person dead. Details are still limited, but here's what we know so far. It happened just after 6 yesterday evening on Crockett Road near Southview. Police say this also caused road closures overnight as they investigated the crash. We'll have a call into Palestine Police, and we'll keep you updated as more details become available.
Well, funeral arrangements are pending for a Nacogdoches County teen and cancer survivor who died in a tragic ATV crash. The sheriff's office says 17-year-old Caden Nelson was killed Sunday afternoon while riding on private property in Etoile. First responders say they tried to save her, but she died at the scene. Caden went by KK, and she was a student at Woodland High School and had survived a rare and aggressive form of cancer after being diagnosed at just 10 years old. Now, Sheriff Jason Bridges there in Nacogdoches said, quote, KK had an infectious smile and love for everyone that she met. She was known for her love of Christ and trying to bring other kids to know our Lord and Savior. She had a natural desire to put the needs of others first and had a true impact on people's lives. Now, a donation account has been set up for her family. That's being set up at Southside Bank.
Now to a story out of Van Zandt County. The death of a Wills Point man who was taken into custody last month by law enforcement is now under investigation. According to state documents obtained by CBS19, Jason Lopez was arrested for public intoxication on September 2nd. But during transport, officers say the 53-year-old became combative, forcing a stop along Highway 64, where deputies were called in to assist. Lopez was eventually restrained and brought to the Van Zandt County Jail, where officials say he continued to resist. During efforts to move him into a restraint chair, Lopez stopped breathing. CPR and a defibrillator were used before EMS arrived. He was hospitalized but died 3 days later. The circumstances around his death are now under review. Stay with CBS 19 for any updates.
Well, extra counselors have been brought in this morning to help students cope after a Corrigan-Camden high school football player passed away. It's left the community heartbroken but united. Dana Rivera, a sophomore at Corrigan-Camden High School, suffered a medical emergency nearly 2 weeks ago while supporting his team from the sidelines, and first responders rushed him to a local hospital, but then he was taken to Houston, where he later died. Daniel was known for his energy, his kindness, and dedication both in the classroom and on the field.
I think it's a testament to the impact that he had on the community by the outpouring of love that all have shown him and his family during this time.
Now take a look at this. Drone footage shows a prayer circle on the football field with students, staff, family, and even rival teams coming together to honor Daniel. Now, for those who want to support his family, donations can be made through the Bulldog Athletic page. We'll have that link on our website.
Right now, hundreds of Texas National Guard troops are on the ground in Chicago, a move President Trump says is necessary to crack down on crime. That's sparking pushback from leaders in other states and raising questions about how the Guard can legally be used. Governor Greg Abbott posted this photo showing those troops boarding a flight. He says the move ensures safety for federal employees, but critics and military experts say the situation is more complex.
I think the issue is really one of authority and what tasks the National Guard are asked to perform. So they can provide associated support, logistics, building security, things like that, but they cannot provide direct law enforcement.
Meanwhile, Governor Abbott is standing firm, telling officials to either protect federal workers or get out of the way and let Texas do it.
Well, 3 months after the Hill Country deadly floods, parts of Kerrville's Forever Trail and park systems have reopened to the public. City crews cleared and inspected that area to ensure safety. In some areas, including the damaged bridges and play structures, remain closed for repairs. And as restoration work continues, the city is accepting donations through the Kerrville Parks and Recreation Foundation to help the 119 lives that were lost in the floods. That hit almost 3 months ago. 8-year-old Seal Stewart and 61-year-old Jeffrey Ramsey remain missing.
The Texas race to be the Republican nominee for the U.S. Senate has a new contender, and he is taking on two top names in his own party. Yesterday, Republican Congressman Wesley Hunt of Houston announced that he's throwing his hat into the ring. He said he's running because he does not believe Senator John Cornyn has shown that he can beat challenger and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. But many in his own party are criticizing the decision, saying his entry into the race could cost Republicans control of the Senate. Mark Jones with Rice University says Hunt is a true conservative without the Paxton baggage.
Someone like Hunt doesn't have any of the ethical, legal, or political baggage that Paxton has, but for many conservative Republicans, he's just as conservative. But there is a lot of jockeying behind the scenes among his supporters who view Hunt as the solution to their dilemma, that if Cornyn goes up against Paxton in the GOP primary, he loses. But if Paxton goes up against Colin Allred in November of 2026, he could possibly lose.
The primary will be held March 6th of next year. Hunt's entry will likely ensure that the race will head to a runoff.
Well, meanwhile, firefighters in Mount Bellevue quickly responded on Monday, to an explosion in a fire at the 1 OK MBC maintenance plant northeast of Houston. 3 workers were treated for minor injuries and all were accounted for. Video from this helicopter shows significant damage, though authorities say there's no immediate threat to the public. 1 OK says that the fire is out and the facility is stable, and a full investigation will determine the cause before operations resume.
A live look now at our nation's capital, where the Senate is set to reconvene this morning after again failing to pass the funding bill to reopen the federal government yesterday. President Trump said that he is interested in making a deal on the Democrats' key sticking point, health care, though Democratic leaders say the White House has been radio silent so far.
And meanwhile, travelers at airports around the country are seeing flight delays as the Transportation Secretary acknowledges there is a jump in air traffic controllers calling out sick. CBS's Jared Hale has more.
The tower is closed due to staffing.
For several hours Monday, there were no air traffic controllers at Hollywood Burbank Airport.
It doesn't make me happy. It is kind of scary.
Pilots redirected to other centers. California Governor Gavin Newsom blamed the federal government shutdown. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy.
Is our airspace unsafe? No.
Trying to reassure travelers as staffing issues, including sick calls, hit several major airports and air traffic control centers. The federal employees have been working without pay since the shutdown started 7 days ago.
Now what they think about as they're controlling our airspace is, how am I going to pay my mortgage? How do I make my car payment?
The motion is not agreed to.
The Senate stalemate continued Monday. For a 5th time, the chamber failed to pass a clean GOP funding bill or a Democratic proposal that includes protections for Affordable Care Act subsidies and Medicaid. President Trump says he's open to making a deal.
We are speaking with the Democrats, and some very good things could happen with respect to health care.
But Democratic leaders say that's not the case.
Neither Leader Schumer or myself have heard a word from the administration about resolving this issue.
Later, the president clarified that he's happy to work with the Democrats after the government reopens. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Well, the Air Traffic Controllers Union says the shutdown staffing shortage leaves the system vulnerable and underscores the urgent need to accelerate training and hiring. The union also says it's working with the Federal Aviation Administration to mitigate disruptions. President Trump will be the keynote speaker next Friday at a fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago. Now, the cost to attend what's being called a candlelight dinner is only $1 million per person. The event is sponsored by the Trump Alliance Super PAC MAGA Inc. That organization raised $177 million during the first half of the year. It's an unprecedented sum for a president who can't seek another term. Instead, the money will likely be used to help shape next year's midterm elections.
Well, Russian President Vladimir Putin and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu discussed the U.S. proposed ceasefire plan for Gaza, the Kremlin said on Monday. Putin reiterated Russia's support for a comprehensive settlement of the Palestinian issue based on international law. The leaders also touched on Iran's nuclear program and the situation in Syria. Netanyahu reportedly also sent his birthday wishes ahead of Putin's 73rd birthday today.
And today marks 2 years since the Hamas-led attack on Israel. The attacks killed about 1,200 people, that is, and militias kidnapped around 250 others. 48 remain in Gaza to this day. Israel soon responded with an intense military assault that same day, and over the past 2 years, Israeli military attacks killed over 66,000 people and destroyed much of the enclave in what multiple organizations have deemed a genocide. Today, delegations from Israel and Hamas are in Egypt to negotiate a ceasefire deal. And new this morning, a fire at the Dow Chemical plant in Freeport is out. This is about an hour south of Houston. It happened just before 8 last night. Neighbors say they heard a blast, saw smoke, and then heard emergency sirens. All the employees are accounted for and no one was hurt. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but the company says there's no danger to the public.
7:12, time for your morning headlines. An investigation is underway after a helicopter crashes on a highway in Sacramento, California. Now, that roadway was covered in debris. The cause is still unclear this morning, but authorities say the pilot, a nurse, and a paramedic were all on board that medical chopper when it went down. At one point, one person was trapped underneath the wreckage. All 3 victims were taken to the hospital in critical condition. First responders say that no one else was injured and no cars were involved in that crash. The Trump administration is relying on a classified legal opinion that it says justifies deadly strikes against a secret list of cartels and suspected drug traffickers. Sources say the list goes beyond groups publicly designated as terrorist. Legal experts warn the opinion could allow a president to target traffickers as enemy combatants, authorizing strikes without legal review, a sharp break from traditional drug enforcement that relies on arrest and due process. Grammy Award-winning country singer Zach Bryan has split some of his fans with a politically charged song. Bryan uploaded a minute-long snippet of his upcoming song, Bad News, to Instagram on Friday. It contains lyrics that appear to reference ICE raids in a negative way. The 29-year-old singer captioned the snippet, "The Fading of the Red, White, and Blue." Bryan's latest album, titled Heaven on Top, is scheduled for release in 2026. And lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs are asking a judge to recommend he serve his prison sentence at a low-security federal facility in Fort Dix, New Jersey. The 55-year-old mogul is currently being held in Brooklyn. His legal team says a low-security setting would allow him to focus on rehab, address drug abuse issues, and maintain family visits. Combs was sentenced Friday to 4 years and 2 months after being convicted earlier this year on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution.
All right, 7:14 now. Let's get to our question of the day this morning. In honor of National Taco Day, it is only the right thing, right? Talking about all things taco. What is your favorite taco? We talked about this earlier on Morning Y'all, but we're going to talk about it again for those that didn't get a chance to hear us.
Every taco is my favorite taco. I don't have
You don't have an unfavorite?
Yeah.
The one, I wouldn't say one. It's not even really a taco. It's the kind of meat, but it's menudo. But like, I don't know if there's menudo tacos, but I don't like the meat. It's cow tongue. and I don't like the texture
Okay.
of the cow tongue.
So maybe you lost me at that taco. but
Yeah.
See, I
could
didn't
do a
even know that
beef-
was a thing.
That is a thing.
Yeah, I could do a beef crispy taco, a
Yeah.
chicken taco. You could make it fajita beef, shredded. I don't care.
I forgot about chicken tacos.
Y'all
Those are pretty good too.
Remember
So
when
good.
the Doritos Locos Tacos came out? And
Yes.
Everyone was
I
going
love it,
at them.
actually.
They were going
They're great.
locos.
I
They
don't
were.
ever get them, but maybe like once in a blue moon. You know,
Yeah.
they're back with the Cool Ranch one
They
because they're
are.
going back into the vault and getting some old
throwbacks.
goodies.
That's right. That's the Y2K menu, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yep.
Yes, my daughter had one the other day. Or no, she had the normal Doritos Los Tacos. But anyways, good nonetheless.
I like Cool Ranch over the regular.
You do?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
So I might like this one a little bit more. I haven't tried that one
Oh,
yet.
you got to go try it.
Yeah, I'll try it
Because I don't
today.
think it lasts forever. So you have a
Limited time.
Yeah.
short
I'll
time
have
frame.
to try it as well. Usually the tacos that I eat are just soft tacos with the flour tortillas. Although I do like the corn tortillas on the taquitos as well.
Yes.
Those are pretty good as well.
You can also put them on the skillet with a little bit of oil. Just heat them up and call it a day too. And
That's
sometimes you double them and make it extra thicker. That way it doesn't rip.
I
or
know.
fall
We
apart.
have Taco Tuesday every Tuesday. This one might be a tough go, though, because we have volleyball.
You know
I
what?
don't know.
You're in luck though. I know I know Taco Bell for sure, and some other restaurants have deals on their apps.
Okay.
So if you download them, check it out.
And we got a lot of a lot of good taco places here.
We do.
In East Texas.
Very good.
All right. Well, everyone's going to be out on the roads this morning.
Let's taco about some
right.
traffic.
I like that. That was very
I
good.
did a Joel Dad joke.
There you go. Oh, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Very good. Yeah, let's talk about this traffic out there. We are on Highway 80. Actually, we're in a parking lot right now. There's Sonic. There's the Sonic over there. It's still there. Just letting you know, it's still there. And we got some traffic out there, kind of picking up just ever so slightly. But as we take a look at I-20, we are still in pretty good shape. We got 2 hours over to Dallas and then an hour and 30 minutes over to Shreveport. So it should be in pretty good shape there. 2 hours and 30 minutes over to Denison. And then we also have an hour and 30 minutes to get down to Lufkin. So US 69 and I-20 are both in really good shape so far. And as for some of the other routes out there, Jacksonville to Nacogdoches is a 50-minute commute this morning. We also have Tyler to Longview. That's a 40-minute commute. Then a Tyler to Palestine route, that's going to be about 55 minutes at this point. Then Tyler to Athens is now up to 45 minutes. Now, as you're heading out, especially if you're within, we got Henderson, and then we also have Marshall and Jefferson dealing with some dense fog. We're now down to 3.25 mile visibilities down in Henderson. We're also down to a mile visibility in the Marshall area and 1.5 for Jefferson. So some very dense fog in some parts of the area. So just definitely watch out for that. Giving you yellow lights at least through 8 o'clock. I think it'll all be gone by 9 and onward. So that's some good news there. It'll definitely be gone by this afternoon, that's for sure. The only thing we're going to have to kind of watch for is a couple of showers, but other than that, most everybody will be staying dry. Shouldn't affect too much with your afternoon commute.
All right, coming up in sports, a big game last night from one of our own as Patrick Mahomes nearly brought the Chiefs their 3rd win of the season. We've got the highlights. I don't know if everyone will see those as highlights if you love the Chiefs right after the break.
It's time for CBS 19 Sports.
It's time for sports on Friday night. Longview got back into the column with a 35-21 win over Rockwall thanks to contributions from Trey Hamilton, Mason Washington, Jaden Herdon, and more. But this game wasn't just big because of the comeback performance on the field. It was also the first time head football coach John King had been back in action since week 1 after coach opened up about his cancer diagnosis. King wasn't on the sideline. He was calling the shots from the press box, but we're certainly glad that coach is back to work. And not all surprised, he helped the Lobos get that another win. All right, now to the NFL. The prodigal son of White House returned to the gridiron on Monday Night Football, but it was the Jacksonville Jaguars that came out on top, defeating Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs by a final score of 31-28. The Chiefs jumped out 14-0 lead after Travis Kelce touchdown, but Trevor Lawrence led the Jaguars come back, throwing a touchdown to Parker Washington and adding 2 rushing scores. Rookie Travis Hunter made a highlight 44-yard grab to set up a key touchdown, and linebacker Devin Lloyd gave Jacksonville the lead with a 99-yard interception return and the longest defense touchdown in team history. Jags win it 4-1 this season. All right, now to the MLB. Los Angeles Dodgers are now 1 win away from the return to the NLCS after holding off the Phillies 4-3 in Game 2. Blake Snell dominated on the mound, striking out 9 and allowing just 1 hit through 6 innings, and the Dodgers jumped out early and created a 4-0 lead into the 9th before the Phillies made things interesting. Nick Castellanos doubled into 2 runs to get the lead to 1, but the Dodgers escaped to take the jam to a 2-0 lead series. Philadelphia Stars struggled again as Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, and Kyle Schwarber combined for just 2 hits throughout the games. And finally, the Milwaukee Brewers took control of the NLDS matchup, a 7-3 win over the Cubs, moving within 1 game of the NLCS. Milwaukee's offense was powered by long ball as Andrew Vaughn and Jackson Chourio each launched 3-run homers. William Contreras added a solo shot. The Cubs grabbed an early lead on Seiya Suzuki homer, but the Brewers quickly answered and never looked back. Rookie Jacob Misiorowski provided 3 scoreless innings of the bullpen, helping Milwaukee stay unbeaten in the series, heading into a Game 3 that is at Wrigley Field. All right, 7:23 now. We're about to step away for a moment while we do our over the break broadcast for a quick news update.
Yeah, we'll be right back with more right here on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, all. I'm Jesus Martinez.
And I'm Dana Dixon. Thank you for joining us for this news update. Funeral arrangements are pending for a Nacogdoches County teen and cancer survivor who died in a tragic ATV crash. The sheriff says 17-year-old Caden Nelson was killed Sunday afternoon while riding on a private property in Etoile. First responders say they tried to save her, but she died at the scene. Caden went by KK. She was a student at Woden High School and had survived a rare and aggressive form of cancer after being diagnosed at just 10 years old. Sheriff Jason Bridges said, quote, KK had an infectious smile and a love for everyone that she met. She was known for her love of Christ and trying to bring other kids to know our Lord and Savior. She had a natural desire to put the needs of others first and had a true impact on many people's lives, end quote. A donation account for her family is being set up at Southside Bank.
Well, the Mentoring Alliance is hosting its annual Celebrate the One luncheon. It's from 11 to 1 today at Green Acres Crosswalk Convention Center, and they're hoping to raise $450,000 to support the mentoring programs for more than 2,000 children across East Texas. Guests will hear inspiring stories from families, leaders, including a keynote from Mentoring Alliance CEO Kevin East. Now, money raised will help provide scholarships for kids from low-income families, give them access to after-school programs, and even summer camps and one-on-one mentorship. Well, emergency response is getting a major upgrade in Upshur County. Law enforcement agencies are now fully connected through a singular computer-aided dispatch system. Now, the new CAT system links departments like Gilmer, Big Sandy, East Mountain, and the Upshur County Sheriff's Office, creating one shared network for all the emergency calls. Now, when 911 is dialed, every responding agency sees the same information in real time, from caller details to location history, allowing for faster coordination and quicker response times. And they say it's already streamlined operations across the county, and the police chief there says it's already been a game changer. All right, we got showers today, Joel. We need to bring that umbrella.
That's right. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's also going to be a little bit hot and humid for sure. We'll be up to the upper 80s to low 90s for this afternoon. Of course, as you said, a couple of showers will be a possibility into this afternoon. You can see it with our future skycast. I'm going to start you off at noon today. Here's 2 o'clock. Most of the activity setting up over deep East Texas, basically along and south of I-20. Everybody will have a chance to at least see some rain for today, but anything that does develop will be very, very random, very, very brief, and very, very few and far between. It's going to be very isolated in nature. Not a whole lot of us will see some good accumulating rain, but we'll still take a little bit of rain nonetheless, considering we've been lacking in that department for sure. And after that cold front settles in, we are going to be very dry going forward, but it's definitely going to be a very pleasant forecast, especially as we go into Friday and Saturday. Look at those low temperatures starting off in the upper 50s. 58 to start Friday, 59 for Saturday. We'll slowly inch our way back up into the middle to upper 80s as a ridge of high pressure moves in by the weekend.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. A language gap inside Smith County courtrooms with only one full-time Spanish interpreter. How officials are working to make justice more accessible.
And a Texas State University professor is fighting to keep his job after being fired over controversial comments. We'll tell you what happened and how students are rallying in his support.
And a couple of showers will be a possibility today ahead of a cold front, which will be sweeping in by the later parts of today and will impact our temperatures in a very, very nice and refreshing way. I'll show you what that looks like in your full forecast coming up on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
7:32. Good morning, y'all. Thanks for staying with us here on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Dana Dixon.
Yeah, we're glad you're with us here this morning. I'm Jesus Martinez. Texas State University Professor Dr. Thomas Alter met with President Kelly Damphouse this week, but no decision was made about his future at the school.
Yeah, Alter, who was fired last month over comments he made at a socialist conference, says he feels good about how the meeting went. The university plans to review the situation and is expected to make a decision by the end of the week. Vincent Martorano has the story.
This came from a hearing with President Damphouse. This is on the charges against me.
Texas State University tenured professor Dr. Thomas Alter is waiting on a decision that will define his future with the university.
Fighting for all of our free speech, all of our academic rights, and to have Texas State be the campus that we want it to be.
Today, he met with University President Kelly Damphouse and other university staff to talk about the possibility of being fully reinstated to his job. Alter was fired last month for comments he made while at a socialist conference during which he wasn't representing the university. At the time, Damphouse said any conduct that advocates for inciting criminal behavior is directly contrary to the values of the university in response to Alter's comments. Some of Dr. Alter's former students, like Michael Flores, says he shouldn't have been fired for what he said.
I was a bit confused, and I was even thinking maybe it was a different Dr. Alter because that's just seemed outrageous to me.
Alter filed a lawsuit against the university for firing him without due process and violating his free speech. He's been temporarily reinstated by a Hays County judge pending due process. Now, he waits.
The decision will be on whether I remain here at Texas State will be decided later this week.
Today, some Texas State students rallied in the campus quad, calling on President Damphouse to reinstate Alter. He met up with them after his hearing, and those students say firing him would be the wrong move.
He's just standing for what we believe in, especially in this intense political climate, and we're just trying to stand in support of him because if it can happen to him, we just don't want it to happen to anyone.
.34 as we continue to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, we are taking a closer look at language access in the legal field. Smith County has a growing Hispanic and Latino population, but just one full-time interpreter.
CBS 19's Robert De La Garza takes us inside the courtroom to show us how they are ensuring fair trials no matter the language.
Smith County is home to more than 200,000 residents, and according to a UT Tyler survey, more than 20% identify as Hispanic or Latino. But when it comes to language access in the courtroom, meeting the needs of Spanish-speaking residents is a growing challenge.
If a witness is non-English speaking, their testimony about the facts of a case is very important.
Licensed interpreter Gilbert Urbina is one of the handful of contracted interpreters in Smith County that spans all the way to Dallas and Beaumont.
So in order for there to be a fair and just trial, the communication must be clear.
He's contracted thousands of hearings from minor infractions to high-profile trials and says it's so much more than simply translating.
You have to make sure that it's accurate as much as possible so that everything that's being conveyed is exactly the way it is being spoken.
Right now, Smith County employs just one full-time Spanish interpreter, with 6 others contracted part-time to serve the growing community.
Yeah, we don't have enough. We probably need more in order to be able to spread the work and be able to help everyone.
I have cases every day, up to maybe 20 cases a week, and maybe more, maybe less.
Jorge Trevino is the only full-time interpreter and has been in Smith County since 2020. The job may be demanding, but Trevino says it's also deeply meaningful.
So I feel compassion for the people, and I feel that I'm helping them in their more stressful time.
He says interpreters often see defendants and victims reliving painful memories, and that accuracy means empowerment.
I'm expressing everything that he or she is saying. So they have a voice. They can tell their story.
September 30th is recognized as International Translator Day, a day that acknowledges the vital work of interpreters and translators around the world, connecting people through language and understanding. And for those in the courtroom, that impact runs deep.
It stays with you, and some cases are very emotional. And so you try to remain as neutral as possible, but it does have an effect on you. And so even though they can be difficult, I think it makes you a better interpreter.
Reporting in Smith County, Robert De La Garza, CBS 19.
And don't forget, this Hispanic Heritage Month, CBS 19 is celebrating the culture, traditions, and voices that are shaping East Texas. Join us for our Hispanic Heritage Month special. It airs this Sunday, October 12th at 7 a.m. on CBS 19 and also streaming on CBS 19 Plus. I know the weather really hasn't changed here in East Texas. Doesn't feel like fall much yet, but it is here.
Yeah, I'm not liking these 80s right now. Pumpkin patches are popping up, though, all around Tyler. And as pumpkin season gets underway, it's super exciting.
The Pumpkin Patch Express.
Yeah, all aboard at Lane's Chapel on Old Jacksonville Highway. The church is hosting their now 11th annual pumpkin patch with highlights like the Pumpkin Patch Express, the plenty of games for kids, of course, and thousands of pumpkins. And the church prides themselves on having a family-friendly atmosphere, and everything is free except for the pumpkins. Though the money raised during the month-long event helps support a number of ministries all over the area.
We support local ministries like Achieving Dreams, Bethesda, KBNE, our Boy Scout troop, and our children's ministries. All of the money goes to local ministries.
Super exciting.
Gotta go get yourself a pumpkin.
Right? I have to get on that express.
I was
the
like,
Pumpkin Patch Express.
It did look like fun.
It did.
Yeah, I might be a little too big. We might be a little bit
Never
too big
know.
for that.
We could be the driver at least. All right. Let's head to those trending stories now. The countdown is on to the holidays at Starbucks. From peppermint mochas to sugar cookie lattes, fans are getting ready to sip their way through the season. We got to get through Halloween first, though, right?
Nah.
Starting November 6th, Dana said no. Okay. Starting November 6th, Starbucks is bringing back its fan favorite holiday drinks, which, of course, we talked about the peppermint mocha, the caramel brulee latte, the iced gingerbread chai, my personal favorite. Bakery treats are coming back too, like the snowman cookies, the cranberry bliss bars, and the new goodies like polar bear cake pops. Plus, coffee lovers can grab the limited edition Hello Kitty merchandise. Starbucks holiday cheer is, of course, just around the corner now. Less than a month away from those.
You didn't talk about my chestnut praline latte, and
I did
yesterday
not.
I gasped heavily because I didn't see it on the
And
list.
I thought something was wrong. I looked over at my desk. I was like, what's wrong?
But I found it.
She found
it's just
it.
coming out a little bit later, which is weird because they did come out with the chestnut praline latte that you can grab from the store shelves. Now,
How much
later?
later? How much later?
It didn't say.
Didn't say, just a little bit later.
A little bit later, which is not good.
Hopefully
with
before
me.
Thanksgiving.
But the chestnut
Yeah.
praline latte that you can get just at the
Right.
store doesn't taste the same.
It's not.
It's okay.
No.
It's good. I'll drink it.
Well,
but
I'll say none of the store-bought Starbucks drinks that they have in store taste the same. They taste different than
I know.
in store. And nothing beats like a nice little coffee shop, right?
I know. All right. Well, fans of Stranger Things can now step into Hawkins from the comfort of a real-life Airbnb. The Byers family home from the hit Netflix series is available to rent in Fayetteville, Georgia. The 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house sits on nearly 7 acres and is packed with iconic details from flickering lights to cryptic wall messages like right there. Perfect for a nostalgic rewatch marathon or getaway with friends. The Airbnb sleeps up to 6 guests and lets fans live out their Stranger Things dreams in the very spot where the series all began. I don't think I could do it because there are some I haven't watched it, but I know it's set in the 80s, so I should watch it because I love anything 80s. But it's kind of cryptic, and I think there are some things that would scare me if I was staying in the house.
Well, I think this just goes on the Airbnb trend of these houses turning into movie sets in a way, because we saw the Barbie one,
ones,
and there are a few others that have turned their Airbnb house into a movie set.
But they actually, this is where they actually filmed.
Oh, is it where they did?
Yeah, that's what they were saying. Have you ever watched Stranger Things?
Yes, a little bit, and it's very creepy.
Okay.
Very creepy. Oh yeah.
That's all I needed to know. I will not.
And of course, I do appreciate the 80s stuff in there.
It's a win-win for Joel.
Oh, for sure.
All right. Well, a middle school teacher in Virginia is turning kindness into a game, right? Who wouldn't? And students are loving it. At Lakeside Middle School, civics teacher Jeff Chrysikion created sneaky cards, little prompts encouraging students to compliment someone, try something new, or meet a new friend. And each card has a QR code to track its journey, spreading kindness across the community. And students say even small acts can make a big difference, lifting spirits for themselves and others as well. And now the teacher hopes the program will grow beyond the classroom, inspiring joy in neighborhoods and shopping centers all over the area. How cool is that? That you can actually physically track where that kindness goes.
I feel like every single school should do something like
Right.
that. Because I think sometimes we just are scared to like go out on a limb and like tell someone, good morning, hope you're having a great day.
Right.
Because afraid you might be judged. But if everyone puts that kindness out in there, it does have a
And
ripple
then it becomes a
effect.
norm after that if everyone does it.
Absolutely, I think so. I always tell my kids that. Just try to make someone's day, it'll make your day better in
And
return.
I like your hair.
Thank
See?
you.
Yeah,
And I like your
day
tie.
better.
You
Do you
like
feel
her
better?
color. I do feel better.
We were talking about gems earlier. Y'all are both gems.
Aww, I love y'all.
I love you too.
It's all great. But yeah, it's pretty cool to track that QR code. And especially if it makes it down towards shopping centers, be kind and get a discount. Stores should do that too,
Just
you know?
give us a discount.
Right? Might as well. Or we're getting it maybe a discount in these temperatures.
Discount. That's one way to put it
Yeah,
for sure.
maybe like a 5% discount.
How about a fall special?
There we go. We'll take it.
I'll give you a fall special for this week. We got the cold front coming in. We got that fall special. I like that very much going into this week. Now, of course, we still have a very low-end chance for rain, especially as we go into the rest of this week. And even into today, we got a couple of showers possible, but it's really not going to be helpful when it comes to our burn bans here across the area. We still got burn bans that include the cities of Carthage Center, Lufkin, Jacksonville. We also have Crockett included in that burn ban as well. These will continue until further notice. I do expect them to be extended through this week as we will continue to stay very dry into the rest of the week. Except for today, a couple of us will see some showers, but still not going to be all that much help. Live look in Nacogdoches. It's a gorgeous morning. You can see a little bit of haze there. Temperatures in the upper 60s. We had some low 70s earlier. Now have dropped into the upper 60s at this point. We got 68 in Jacksonville. We also have 67 in Nacogdoches and down to 64 in Center, and then 69 degrees for our the Rose City here across the area. And as we continue into the rest of the afternoon, we'll have high temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s. So yes, another hot and steamy day is ahead here as we head into this afternoon. Much like yesterday, we reached a high of 92 in Tyler. I think we'll be around the same for today, maybe a little bit less, especially when it comes to the showers across the area. And over the next 3 days, thanks to that cold front, we got temperatures falling down into the upper 80s and eventually down to the middle 80s by Thursday and potentially into Friday. This won't last too much longer though, and I'll show you why in your full forecast coming up later.
Well, you know, yesterday was National Coaches Day, which encourages people to honor and recognize the impact of coaches in sports and beyond.
That's right. And Michael Yoshida joins us with more on the day and how athletes and parents and coaches can learn from it.
On and off the field, coaches can transform lives.
Teach life skills that are going to stay with kids long after their playing days are over.
Jason Sachs with Positive Coaching Alliance works to make sure young people have coaches who inspire them to become the best version of themselves in the game and in life.
Youth sports is possibly one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, platform that we have in our country for positive youth development. So we just need to make sure that it's being done right. And oftentimes, the coach is at the center of that.
But with so many youth league and team options, potential pressures of costs, scholarships, or even NIL sponsorship money, Sachs offers this advice to parents. Do your homework. Make sure your expectations, your child's, and the organization's align. Is it a travel team where playing time isn't guaranteed? Or something more developmental and fun where everyone plays? How competitive is it? And what are the goals?
So we really want the parents to take a close look and make sure they're making the right decision for their child at that point in their child's life.
For players and coaches, Sachs says yes, feedback can be tough and failure can and will happen. But lessons of teamwork, adversity, and learning to work with others of different backgrounds and personalities can help you well beyond the game.
The most important thing that a coach can do with a player is to build trust, because once there's that connection and trust, then I think that's where a lot of the learning can happen.
In Washington, Michael Yoshida.
All right, good morning, everybody. I'm CBS 19 meteorologist Joel Robinson. We are in for another hot and humid one as we go into this afternoon. We got upper 80s to low 90s on tap for this afternoon with a couple of showers possible as well. We are watching a cold front very closely. That'll help kind of generate some of that shower activity as we move into this afternoon. That cold front will eventually pass through. By this evening, we'll see some much cooler temperatures into the next couple of days. And of course, much lower humidity. I'm definitely looking forward to that, that's for sure. As we take a look at future skycasts, we're going to start off at noon today. So as we continue on through the afternoon, activity will start to begin across Deep East Texas and mainly reside across Deep East Texas, although I would not rule out a couple of showers just to the north of there, as these showers are going to be very, very random and very scattered in nature. Everybody will at least have a chance for rain today, but not everybody will see it just due to the coverage of each of these showers and how random they're going to be. So once this passes through, we got high pressure and control. That's going to keep us nice and cooler. We'll also be a little bit drier as we continue on to the next couple days. Cold front stalls, become stationary, and then it weakens and then moves off to the south and east, and we again are looking at a pretty quiet picture as we go into the next couple of days. Next thing we're watching for is a warm front on top of an area of high pressure in our upper levels. That's going to warm us up into this weekend, potentially up to the middle to upper 80s. Now, we're not going to be seeing a whole lot of rainfall as after today as far as the forecast goes, so we still have those burn bans in effect for some parts of Deep East Texas until further notice. And again, still going to be very dry as we go forward, so I do not expect too many improvements as we head into the next couple of days. And into the next several days, really. Our 7-day forecast is a very quiet one, but very, very refreshing, especially going into Thursday and Friday and Saturday. We're looking at temperatures in the low 80s with low temperatures as far down as 58 degrees.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. Let's get back to our question of the day this morning in honor of National Taco Day. Of course, it is only right to ask this question. What is your favorite taco?
I just want to know what you guys like on it. I know that you both like soft tacos as opposed to the crunchy ones. I prefer a crunchy one, but a lot of times I'll just do a taco salad and take all the carbs away.
That's healthier. Might as well.
What I try to do, you know.
Topping wise, definitely cilantro, lime, and that's about the extent of it. Tomatoes.
No avocado?
No.
I always have cilantro, lime, avocado, tomato, and then hot sauce and a little sour cream.
And I can't, but I can't do onions.
I'm much more boring than that. I just got cheese and lettuce.
We'll call it a day.
That's it. Yeah, that's all I got.
I'm gonna take you out and expand your horizons.
Yes.
Have you tried the other types?
No, not yet.
Okay.
So I can't say it's not that I don't like it. It's just I know that I like this, you know?
I know. Have you been to Torchy's?
Yes.
Okay.
But I haven't had their tacos. I've had their quesadillas. I'm a big quesadilla guy, though.
They have all the different varieties. I would suggest maybe try one little taco and new taco every time you go to Torchy's and you get a quesadilla.
That's fair.
Just to see if you like it, because they're kind of inexpensive and they're little.
Yeah.
And then you take a bite and you go, I don't like that, but then you may. You
like
know?
it.
Ooh, I also like sometimes like cilantro rice on mine. If
That's
we're going
good.
big. If we're going big.
I like the, I'm blanking, Tipsy Chick at
yes.
Torchy's. That one's good.
And I like the Baja shrimp that we talked about earlier. But they also have one that has like brisket. I like that one. I love a brisket taco. Like if I'm going to, why can't I think, Don Juan's.
Yeah.
I love a street taco, by the way. Do you like
They're
street
good.
tacos?
They're amazing.
So good. And that they've got the steak taco, and same kind of situation, but so good.
They're so cheap and affordable too.
They are, and they're little. I
They
like
are
how
little.
they're bite-sized, you know? So.
I can finish those in 2 bites. One if
the
I was really hungry.
bite-sized stuff of anything is pretty good.
I feel like we've got to take you to Don Juan's to have their tacos. It's an
Sounds good to me.
experience.
I'm
telling
I'm
you,
game.
we should make a whole segment just Joel exploring East Texas.
That would be so fun.
That would be so fun. Just take them all over.
Let's do it. I'm down.
All righty. Well, hey, we're going to brainstorm this for a little bit, but we're going to step away for a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcast with a quick news update.
Yeah, we'll be right back here with more on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Jesus Martinez.
And I'm Dana Dixon. Thank you for joining us for this news update. Extra counselors have been brought in to help students cope after a Corrigan-Camden High School football player passed away. It has left the community just heartbroken but united in support. Daniel Rivera, a sophomore at Corrigan-Camden, suffered a medical emergency nearly 2 weeks ago while supporting his team from the sidelines. First responders rushed him to a local hospital, and then he was taken to Houston, where he later died. Daniel was known for his energy, kindness, and dedication, both in the classroom and on the field.
I think it's a testament to the impact that he had on the community by the outpouring of love that all have shown him and his family during this time.
Now, drone footage shows a prayer circle on the football field. For those who want to support Daniel's family, donations can be made through the Bulldog Athletic page linked on our website.
We're waiting to learn more about a motorcycle crash in Palestine that left one person dead. It happened just after 6 yesterday evening on Crockett Road near Southview. Police say this also caused road closures overnight as they investigated the crash. We have put a phone into Palestinian police and we'll update you as we learn more. Now to a story out of Van Zandt County. The death of a Wills Point man who was taken into custody last month by law enforcement is under investigation. According to state documents, Jason Lopez was arrested for public intoxication on September 2nd. But during transport, officers say the 53-year-old became combative, forcing a stop along Highway 64, where deputies were called in assist. Lopez was eventually restrained and brought to the Van Zandt County Jail, where officials say he continued to resist. During efforts to move him into a restraint chair, Lopez stopped breathing. CPR and a defibrillator were used before EMS arrived, and he was hospitalized but died 3 days later. Now, the circumstances around his death are under investigation.
Well, if you get ready to head out today, it's a pretty nice day, but still hot out there. When are we going to have that change in temperature, Joel?
We are going to have it pretty quickly, as soon as tomorrow, even over the next couple of days, especially into the next couple of days. We are looking at temperatures in the low to mid 80s, and that humidity also going to be going down. But in the meantime, still going to be hot and humid, upper 80s, low 90s across the area. We will also have a chance for a couple of showers to enter the area as well, especially over deep East Texas. I think that'll be the area where you'll have the highest chance for some rain, but everybody will at least have a chance to get just a couple of bursts of rain for today. It's going to be very, very light and very, very brief, whatever develops, and they're going to be very few and far between as well. Your 7-day forecast after that, once that cold front moves through, that's going to be responsible for some of the showers that we get today. We got temperatures down into the upper 80s and then low 80s for Thursday and Friday. Check out these low temperatures, especially on Friday and Saturday. 58 to start Friday, 59 to start Saturday. We are going to be very dry and very refreshed as we move into Friday morning and Saturday morning. But we also do have a ridge of high pressure that will be moving in, and that'll boost up our temperatures back up into the middle to upper 80s.
Just after 8 o'clock this morning, news before we head out the door. Funeral arrangements are pending for a Nacogdoches County teen and cancer survivor who died in a tragic ATV crash. Now, the sheriff's office says 17-year-old Caden Nelson was killed Sunday afternoon while riding on a private road in Etoile. A donation account for her family is being set up at Southside Bank if you'd like to help them out during this difficult time.
An East Texas community is mourning the loss of a student athlete gone too soon. Corrigan Camden High School sophomore Daniel Rivera passed away after suffering a medical emergency during a football game. His death has deeply shaken the district, but also brought the community together in powerful ways. If you'd like to support Daniel's family, we've included a link on our website, CBS19.tv, to the Bulldog Athletic page where donations can be made.
And the shutdown of the federal government is now in its 7th day. The Senate reconvened to vote on a Republican and Democratic measures to reopen the government Monday, but both proposals failed to advance. The White House says it has threatened widespread firings of federal workers if the shutdown continues.
All right, let's take a look at that 7-day forecast one more time before you head out. It's still another hot and humid day in store for today. A couple of showers are what are going to be possible for today. That's kind of something to watch for as you head out the door this afternoon. Things should be winding down as we head into sunset, and we are in for a nice clear night and a much drier forecast going forward. And hello, lower temperatures in the low to mid 80s, and then those temperatures starting on Friday and Saturday potentially down into the upper 50s. That's a reminder of how much drier we are going to be, so look forward to that in the coming days.
Hello, cooler temperatures.
Hello, indeed.
All right, 8:03 this morning. Check this out. Krispy Kreme is getting into the Halloween spirit with its new Trick or Treat collection. The limited time lineup includes 4 spooky-themed donuts from a jack-o'-lantern. That's a lot of icing on that jack-o'-lantern. To a loaded creation, they're available now in special Halloween boxes, and on October 25th, on Halloween Day, that is, guests in costumes can score a free donut. No tricks, just treats. Now, the one trick, though, is that there's no Krispy Kreme in East Texas. So the trick's on us. We have to drive about 2 hours to Dallas if you want to do that.
I wonder if it'll come to any of the stores. You know, they do deliver Krispy Kreme to some stores. I wonder if we'll get any of these cuties. I like the pumpkin one the best. So cute.
I like this. I don't know what this one is. It has M&Ms on it. I like this one
and some
right
sort
behind
of
me.
Chocolatey crumble
really
situation.
It reminds me of a blueberry donut. I love a blueberry donut.
It's my favorite.
It's so good.
Oh,
me too.
So good.
What's your favorite donut?
Oh man, I like the Boston creams.
Boston cream?
So good. I like the little ghosts. They're a little adorable.
It's really
cute.
Adorable.
Well, that's cute.
I love it.
Alrighty. We're going to continue about donuts and get hungry as we do every morning. So we're going to head out and get some donuts. But in the meantime, thank you so much for starting your day with us here on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. Catch the June show coming up later today.
That's right. And keep it here for the latest news and weather throughout the day. We hope you have a wonderful morning.